feel like we're
I
overlooking.
don't hate the belief, right? It's just this is a little bit premature. Like the kid on
Mm,
Michigan in like the second round of the NCAA tournament this year, he said we're probably the best Michigan, University of Michigan college
dang.
basketball team ever. They went and backed it up and won the national championship. So like then that aged well. This you never really know. Again, they've had such a roller coaster of a season, but when they are good, man, they are so good. And now again, like I said earlier, we're talking about a New York Knicks team with depth. They can go 9, 10, 11 deep. They don't have to just pound Jalen Brunson with the usage and sort of have so much heavy dose of him pick and roll. You're still going to get that, but now they have a balance of their offense. They can hurt you in many different ways, not just Jalen Brunson. And I feel like that's been kind of the whole plan the last couple of years. And now they're a more versatile, balanced team. And again, they're super talented. Like Lou just said, on paper, this team might be the most talented team in the Eastern Conference. That means nothing
Hmm.
though, coming when that ball goes in the air. So they still have to, win basketball games. They still have to advance in the playoffs to be in that category as these other great Knicks teams that we're talking about.
You better advance. If you're saying you're the most talented, you better
That's what I'm
advance or it's
saying.
going to
It's
be
a
really
little
loud.
premature.
Oh, it's tough.
Which team needs to prove more tonight?
It's the Knicks. The Knicks need this win like I need my diabetic shot every week. That's how bad they need this win in the worst way. To prove to themselves that they belong and also prove to the Knicks fan base. Because let's be honest, over the last 6 or 7 weeks, they haven't had a real statement win to let the world know that they're, quote unquote, a real legitimate threat in the Eastern Conference. And so as you're going into the postseason and you're looking at a team that's favored, you're going against a team that's favored to win the East and the Boston Celtics, you want to come out at home tonight and make a statement. And you want to have a feel-good moment, especially on the defensive end. You want to build some type of continuity, some type of togetherness to let the world know and to let your own self know that you're on the same page.
Everybody now saying Boston is the favorites. They went into New York the other night and they lost, but they didn't have Jaylen Brown, and everybody rolling with Boston. Nobody's picking Detroit. You got a few people saying that the Pistons, with Cade, he came back, he looks strong. Now the thing about Cade injury is one of those injuries is when it's healed, there's really no real transition back. It's no rehab for real. It's just a heal and you good to go. And the Pistons are going, even as the number one seed, and even through layers of the season, they're pretty much, being the underdog, being doubted. And when you look at it, first it was, all they had was Cade, right? Then they went through a rough patch with San Antonio, went through their rough patch. OKC went through a rough patch. New York, they lost like 10 in a row. They went through a rough patch. But people still really believe in them, and I'm explaining the difference. All these teams go through ups and downs during the season. And because OKC was getting mopped by San Antonio, and they lost some games in a row. The Pistons go through a rough patch. They didn't have to go through it. They rested their starters versus Brooklyn, or some of the important players versus Brooklyn. And had they played that game, Cade probably would have made 65 games, I believe. Had he played that game, they had a big lead on Brooklyn. Brooklyn came back. And they went on a little losing streak, which they didn't have to. Then Cade went down. Because then when they was going through the losing streak, they was, the Pistons are frauds, and the NBS figured them out. I mean, that's one thing I don't really care for ESPN. And like I said, I've been saying this for a while. Walt Disney has destroyed everything they've touched. You got to understand, this is one of the most, this is a monopoly. And, they enforce the rules on people that they want to enforce them on, right? And they own Marvel, they own Star Wars, they own Disney, obviously. They own ESPN, ABC, and whatever these people have touched, they have destroyed it. They have destroyed it, And in ESPN, the whole thing ever since Cold Pizza was to do bring radio to TV, and it's been one of the most destructive things in sports. It's like when they did The Real World in the 90s and how everybody tried to emulate reality TV in the 90s, bro. It's the same exact thing now with this shit. Everybody's trying to emulate it. And then it morphed into, oh, let's just have a podcast setting where we sitting on the couch. It's trash because most of these people's opinions, when you get into these spaces, it's push a narrative. You don't have much honesty, bro. And I feel like most athletes can't really be honest without being called haters. Most media members can't be honest. It's really, to me, it's trash. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really get transparency and honesty. It's all some type of hidden agendas or secret beefs, or you catch my wave, right? And it's just not organic, right? But it's always shock value when we start coming in talking about talking about certain teams. They always want to push, the Bostons, the LAs, the Lakers, and all that type of stuff. So, but the real, and then when K went out, I gotta finish my story. The whole thing was, well, he out. The Pistons are finished. Well, they hold the number 1 seed, and then people stepped up. Kevin Huerter got his feet wet. During they ran the offense through him, which somebody killed me when I said they should run the offense through Duran more. Why would you do that? Because you don't understand basketball. You don't want to run your offense one way, because when it comes to playoff basketball, they're gonna take that one way away. If you start running your offense, if your offense is predicated on motion and action and running sets, that's perfect. But also you want to be able to say, hey, I need a Harden to get me a bucket 1-on-5. I need a Mitchell to get me a bucket 1-on-5. I want to be able to clear off the side and put, Jason Tatum, 1-on-1, and make him make a pass, or throw it into Shaquille O'Neal on the block. And, you want to be able to be multifaceted. You know what I mean? And a lot of these NBA teams is 1-on-5. It's either high pick and roll, 1-on-5, and that's their offense. You get to the playoffs, you can stop that. So now that you got Jalen Duren, who you posting up and you playing in a high post, and now the offense running through him, it just gives you another weapon. Just think about it. If you go play Call of Duty and you playing 1-on-1 with your boy, and he just got a handgun, but they say you can get a handgun and you can get an AK and you can get a grenade. I mean, who you would rather be? You know what I'm saying? And so many offenses, it's either handgun, it's either a grenade, or maybe you might get lucky and get an AK-47 or grenade, but not too many offenses have all three, or they are complete offenses anymore. So you unlocking that, and it makes you more dangerous. And then you got Jenkins, who can get you a bucket. You got Karis LeVert, who can get you a bucket. Carter. So it's a beautiful thing. But in reality, when you break all this down, it's all about names. It's not about substance. They looking at names. They want big names in the finals. They want to push. The referees are told to push big names there. And the Pistons anytime we win a championship in Detroit, it's against all odds. Our championships in small markets, and people say, well, Detroit, it's a small market. I get people saying, well, Chicago has this many people. It's a small market. It's a small market outside of like baseball. They don't want those cities to win. They want it to be Boston, LA, Miami, but Boston has experience. They're tremendous experience. They're a good ball club. They get Tatum back, in the whole 9, but they don't respect the Pistons, bro. They don't respect them. You got people saying Ben Wallace was better than Rudy Gobert was better than Ben Wallace. Like, you have Patrick, like it's a clown show. And it's going to be interesting because Boston and Detroit got to make it there. New York got to make it there. And the one thing about the playoffs now, these players not built like Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, Michael Jordan. The thing about what make the playoffs a little bit more interesting, than recent history, is that these guys get injured now at a high clip. So you don't really know what it's going to be, but to everybody else, it's Boston or New York. They sleeping on Detroit. Oh, Cleveland and this, that, and the, so we'll see what it is. So the Pistons got to go into the playoffs with another chip on their shoulder, and it don't surprise me none, bro. They push, agendas, but Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere there, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9. Peace.